Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel for the Autumn of Agony, week number 4. We got this Heimdall boss here, and I'm going to walk you through how I soloed all 4 of the objectives for this week. We'll start off with Vox here, but let's go through the nodes first. So he's immune to a lot of the stuff that Mystic Champs try to do, so nullify your stagger, fate seal, neutralize, things like that. Also has a node called Assault Battery, so you see that purple icon that he's got there. All the damage that you do to him is stored in this battery, and then when you knock him down, it deals double of what is stored back to him. So you have to knock him down in order to actually deal damage. And then if you are knocked down while there's damage stored in that battery, it's applied to you instead. So just don't get knocked down, and you won't take a lot of damage. Also has a node called Brace for Impact, so you see that gray and blue unstoppable icon there. So that is going to prevent him from being able to be knocked down by special attacks, 1 and 2, and heavy attacks. And the way you turn it off is by hitting him during his heavy attack. So you're going to be rooted during the heavy attack, and he's going to be passively unstoppable. So the best way to do this is to kind of hold block and then hit him after the first hit of his heavy there, just like I did. And that'll turn off that brace node for 12 seconds. That'll allow you to get in a special attack like I'm about to do here, or you can heavy him if you so choose. You're also going to be getting power only via Matador, so you need to bait out specials from him in order to get some of your own. And then if you back up too many times, you're going to get that Disorient passive on you, which you can see periodically there. And that's really there just to prevent you from getting consistent heavies off if you're retreating too much. And then last but not least, he's got the best defense, so his auto block is going to trigger more frequently after every special. Remember that when he throws a special, he gets that true strike buff, and then while he has that, he has like a 25% chance to auto block, so it's going to be actually more than that. So the general idea here is when you just normally do damage via your basic attacks, when you're ready to do a special attack, you want to block beta heavy and then hit him after the first hit of his heavy with like a light attack, just like I'm doing right here. And then you have to back off. You cannot punish the heavy because of heavy assault. So you either have to, sidestep into a special attack, or kind of like wait out the disorient and get a parry off and then do the special that way. Do be very, very careful here, because his heavy bias in general is very strong, and he's just going to throw random heavies out of nowhere. You're rooted during them, and a lot of them are going to catch you when you can't do anything about it. It actually feels really bad a lot of the time. Especially when you sidestep. Be very, very careful about sidestepping into a special attack, because so many of my attempts at this fight with various champs were ruined because he would dash in with a medium attack, I would immediately trigger my special, and then he would charge a heavy, so he's unstoppable during my entire special attack, and then the last hit of his heavy hits me after the special attack animation is over, and then you're dead from the assault battery. So you got to be really, really careful about that. But in general, just get the special that you want, bait out a heavy to turn off the unstoppable node, and then fire off the special attack. Now you can go only special 3s with any champ in this fight. It's going to be a little bit slower because you're going to have to bait out so many specials from him, but you don't have to worry about that brace node at all if you're just using special 3s with anyone. So, if you're using a champion with like a lot of good base attack damage, you can just combo into him and then bait out a bunch of special attacks to build up to 3 bars. And then when you knock him down with a special 3, all of your damage saved up to that point is going to be reflected back to him. So that is a safer way, but probably a much slower way with most champs. Now, with Vox here for the Cosmic and Metal objective, I chose him mostly because he has that easy access to Undermine, and just counters that auto block mechanic really easily. But truthfully, there are a lot of really good options for this objective too. I saw a bunch of people using Beta Ray Bill, and he will work for this just as well. All right, let's move on to the Mystic and 2020 objective, and I think the best option for this objective is Dragon Man. Now, Dragon Man has access to a slow on his special 1. However, you need to have one of the power charges in order to apply the slow, and the slow is applied on the last hit. So you'll see here it will actually counter that brace node. The slow will apply before he actually goes unstoppable and resists that special attack. So kind of what I decided to do here is, rather than just wait for my power charge to come back every so often, I actually end up changing tactics like, early on here, and I go to my special 3, which grants him 3 power charges, and then I use those special 1s to consume those 3 power charges one at a time. So I'm going like special 3, and then special 1, special 1, special 1, and then repeat as necessary. And this gives me like a guaranteed 3 sets of slows in order to get my damage in. Frequent knockdowns is also going to help in case he knocks me down. He won't, transfer back so much damage to me. So right here, I've kind of already changed tactics, as you can see, getting up to 3 bars of power, and then comboing into him, firing off the special 3 to knock him down, send that damage back, and this is going to give me 3 power charges. As you can see, he throws the heavy out of nowhere. Again, that is a common theme in this fight, so you really got to be prepared for the random heavy attacks. It's pretty easy to dex, even while rooted, but just the difficulty of him catching you completely unaware is where the danger is. And if it knocks you down, obviously all that damage is going to get sent back to you, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble here. So again, we're using our special attacks, our special attack 1 one at a time here, and it's always safe to use the special attack 1 when you have a power charge available, because you're guaranteed to apply that slow debuff on the last hit. And the slow debuff doesn't really last very long. Neither does the unblockable buff that you get, so you don't really have enough time to use the unblockable to hit through his auto block. So it's kind of, again, you're relying on chance here when you're punishing special attacks. If he auto blocks you, there's a chance that he can throw a heavy right away, so you do need to be ready for that. If your first hit is auto blocked, you need to back up immediately and wait for like a parry or another opening here. So another thing that I think you need to be aware of, and you'll probably run into this more than once as you go through these objectives. We talked a lot about his heavy bias, how he throws heavies out of nowhere, how he tries to catch you with them, when there's really nothing you can do to prevent it. And one of the things that I ran into a bunch is when he throws the heavy attack twice in a row. And if you are late on the last decks of the first heavy, you will just remain rooted in place because he's already started to charge his second heavy, and the first hit of the second heavy is going to end up catching you. So you really need to be on top and paying attention to everything that he does, because again, he can throw these heavies at any time as part of a combo, after an auto block, after a special attack. He can just do it whenever he wants, and if you aren't prepared for it, then he will absolutely catch you on them, and you might die instantly because of that battery node. So in this fight here, I did end up taking a heavy a minute or two ago. It didn't end up killing me, so I decided to continue on with the fight. And, this isn't a perfectly clean run, but it was actually good enough. So with Dragon Man, this was actually my first and only attempt with him. I found the use of slow and the special 3 in this fight to be relatively straightforward. And then I felt like my attempts get easier as we go into the next 2 objectives, and you'll kind of see them getting a bit cleaner as well. I struggled a lot with Vox, just trying to learn just the basic rhythm and tempo of this fight. But I got a little bit better with this one, given that he has a slow to counter the unstoppable, made it a little bit easier. And then when we get into the next objective, which I'm going to be using Bullseye for, and then finally for the Deathless She-Hulk run, I thought was probably my best overall attempt here. So one more special attack 1 here, I think, is going to finish him off, and we will move on to objective number 3. Alright, for our skill and mercenary objective, I went with Bullseye, and truthfully there are a lot of good options for this fight, for this objective rather, but Bullseye was the only one who I had at rank 3, so I figured he would be the best one for me. Now my first few attempts with him, I was going like special 3 only, and it really was too slow, and I talked about that kind of at the start of the video. So the better approach, I think, with Bullseye is to utilize the special 2 and the evade, and that's going to do a whole bunch of damage, especially with all those cruelty passives that you're building up. Plus it comes with a stun after the special 2, which allows you to get a cheap combo in and push him back over a bar of power. Now, a couple things to be aware of course, when you're using the special 2 with Bullseye in this fight. You do have to make sure that you have Killer Instinct available, so if it's on cooldown, obviously the evade is not going to work, and you do have to make sure that you are punishing Heimdall's specials successfully in order to get rid of that True Strike buff, because obviously that will turn off the evade and prevent you from triggering Killer Instinct here. So kind of what I settled on here is when Killer Instinct is on cooldown, as you can see here, I'm going for a special 3 to just kind of get an easy knockdown in while I set myself up for another big special 2 here. So another thing that you're noticing here is that I'm not really doing the heavy interrupt with Bullseye with the special 2, and that's because the stun is going to trigger through his block. So even though he's resisting the last hit of that special 2, the stun is triggering anyways, and it still allows me to get in there with like another free and easy combo. So you don't really have to pay attention to that brace node if you're using Bullseye because of that guaranteed stun. That's really useful. I think I do do it once or twice throughout this fight. But yeah, you don't need to worry about the brace node if you're using the special 2 or the special 3, obviously. So again here, Killer Instinct is about to expire, so we're going to fire off the special 3 just to get a knockdown and kind of bank all of the damage that we've done. And all of the guaranteed crits with those cruelty passes are doing quite a bit of damage. So that special 3 knockdown ended up doing like a huge chunk of his health. Our Killer Instinct is not yet back and available, so I think we have to go back to the special 3 here because we're already at 2 bars of power and we don't have Killer Instinct available, so that's fine. Bait out one more special 1 and combo it to punish, fire off the special 3, and now we should be reset for like a big finish here. So Killer Instinct is on cooldown now, so we have to land 10 hits in order to get it to come back. Baiting out this special 1 to get a bar of power, and we'll punish it. Had really good luck in this fight with countering his special attacks, and he wasn't auto-blocking me a lot, which was really nice. Alright, so from here we need to bait out one more special attack. You can see you just got to be ready for those heavies. You have a very little window of opportunity to like figure out that he's actually rooted you and to dex the heavy, otherwise you're going to take a whole bunch of damage here. So right there, he auto-blocked while I was trying to punish the heavy, and now he's just holding block, which was really weird interaction. So I accidentally pushed myself up to 3 bars of power, not really where I wanted to be here, but we're just going to kind of take what he gives us. I knock him down. He immediately throws a heavy out of range, which is very annoying. So we're just trying to, again, wait out until we can get like a parry off here to get an opening. Managing the disorient in this fight I found pretty tricky as well. It's not a guarantee. It's not like 100% disorient, so you can get a parry off with the disorient up, but more likely than not, he's going to hit into you, you're going to try and parry, and he's going to immediately charge a heavy attack, which I think is what the fight is designed to do here. So we're going to build up to 2 bars of power here with this special 1, and then I think the special 2 ends up finishing the fight, countering the special 1 to remove the True Strike, turning off the brace node, firing off our special 2, and this knockdown finishes him off, and that is 3 objectives down. All right, moving on to the last objective, we got the Deathless She-Hulk objective, and again, a couple of different ways you can play this. So Deathless She-Hulk relies a lot on her trauma debuffs for the bonus red damage, and that damage, again, is still all going to be stored by the battery. And then as long as you keep baiting specials out of him, he's going to be refreshing those trauma debuffs. So, the more often you can get a special out of him, the more your damage is kind of going to climb here. So at the start of the fight here, I'm trying to stick to like special 2s because they do a nice big burst of damage, nice 200k damage burst there. And then as long as you can refresh and add on additional trauma debuffs, the damage from every successful special 2 is going to increase here. So again, we've got 6 of those debuffs up on him, combo into the special 2, and that was a nice 230k burst there. And again, you're seeing the trauma debuffs climb up and up. That's She-Hulk has so much raw damage in this fight. Now here we are countering the special 1, interrupting the heavy attack, and kind of getting set for another special 2, trying to get these off before they expire. A nice huge burst, and he throws the special 1 right away to refresh 14 of the traumas. So if you can manage to hold on to the traumas for the entire fight, it's actually going to be very quick, and you're only going to need like 5, maybe 6 of those special 2s to finish him off. Right there, he auto-blocked into the heavy attack, but I was ready for it like I talked about. Nice big, almost 300k burst there, and we are in very, very good shape for this fight here. So yeah, I think I'm just going to let the rest of this one play out. I hope this guide was helpful to you. If it was, be sure to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you aren't already. And you can do me a huge favor and share this guide with your friends and your alliance mates if they are struggling with these objectives in this fight as well. And that's going to do it. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.